My greatest memory of Sister Pat is her love for the poor and the marginalized. She would sacrifice her personal convenience in order to respond to the needs of others in the spirit of self forgetfulness. As CMCM, we are called in loving and humble service to the church through our life of witness and care for the poor. And Sister Pat was able to fulfill this mission and vision in light of her service to the marginalized and stigmatized, particularly in Mindanao, through her passion to help our poor brothers and sisters who are afflicted with various illnesses. By other sisters, she is most remembered by her spontaneous generosity. She was generous in her time, talents, and treasure. She was down to earth and straightforward in her dealings with others, for she can relate the least, the lost, and the last in society, and likewise with the rich, the powerful, the government officials, men in uniform, and the untouchable. I think her legacy are the three centers which she started. The two centers for mentally challenged, namely the Happy Home Foundation Incorporated in Maramag, Bukidnon, the House of Hope Foundation Incorporated in Cagayan de Oro City, and the Center for Abandoned Elderly.
I would remember that Sister Pat would tag me along during the initial years of House of Hope, way back 1992 when it was reopened by the then Archbishop Jesus Tukib. She would tag me along to get some mentally challenged people in the streets of Cagayan de Oro, and also we would visit churches because at times this is the places where these mentally challenged people are.
These centers are administered by the MCM sisters and still continue to serve their purpose as it was started by Sister Pat.
He would wash them, no? Bathe them, and I was just there to assist her, and she would cut their hair because they're all dirty, cut their nails, and she would clean them up and clothe them. At that time when they were still restarting the House of Hope, we went back to the old house in Lumbia, in Upper Palalan, Lumbia, where the present House of Hope is now. It was closed, and so there was still no electricity, no water, but I was just touched. Because the sisters lived in that old abandoned building, no? And they just find their way. They found a room and they started then and found a room for the first client that we have. As we move along, the bishop also made it a point that she would be housed also decently. There's a time when there were other structures that were put up there, and it grew up to what it is right now.
Many people are inspired up to today of what she had done in the past. You would remember her work among the poor.
Her desire to live, to continue her passion to help the poor, so very tremendous. She doesn't want to surrender her life. She expected miracles to happen because she still had many plans to fulfill. She never lost her faith in God.
I would remember Sister Pat to be a very caring person. She was always very humble. She never attributed all these things to herself. But all these things have happened because God was with her.